Did you just fart?
Yes.
Okay, well, that smells like the Kool-Aid Man just did crack in my apartment.
Oh yeah.
Shat on me.
Are we recording? Let's
Yes,
say
that's
we're
our opener.
Oh yeah. It's Finding Prince Charming, episode 7 is the finale, everybody!
Boy,
That was
This
as
took
much
everything
as
I
much
had.
excitement as I could muster.
that took everything.
And I'm so tired right now.
This was exhausting. But we're done, everybody. We only have one more reunion episode, and that's going to be fun, because then everybody fun is going to be back.
It's like watching someone die of cholera very slowly. That's kind of what we saw.
But without an operatic aria.
Okay, this is real gay. So this is opera gay. This is La Traviata gay. That's a whole. I like it how you do with your hands and you look up because I see you imagining yourself with false eyelashes.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
let's move on from the gay shit and go after the rose ceremony when Justin sadly is eliminated, and it's only 3 disgusting, boring people of humanity
Yes.
left.
Yes.
So-
and we're trying to get Justin on for an interview if Logo fucking releases him.
Come talk with
Sorry,
Justin.
Logo.
We
I'm
need to
throwing
talk.
shade at you, not Justin.
Sorry, Logo.
Justin's wonderful. Logo,
We like you, Justin.
suck me.
So, it's after the black tie affair.
It is.
Which is hopefully the last time I ever have to say that phrase. And not ironically. Black tie affair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So they nice do this like weird, like not weird. I get it what they were trying to do, but it's really the music. The music is so terrible on this show.
it's all unlicensed garbage.
It's terrible. But so they show like back when they met the first, like when met when Robert met Eric, and then when Robert met Dylan, and Robert met Brandon. But it feels like an
Feels like a really
infomercial.
bad. Yeah, it does. It feels like an infomercial. As I said,
Right,
a
dating.
commercial about how gay people are just like you.
Just like you.
We're trying to sell it to the Midwest.
We're not threatening you at all.
No, we don't want to take your sons.
Yes, or have orgies with your priest. Already in the episode, within the first 3 minutes, Dylan says that he doesn't get enough attention and he just wants some solo time.
Because
like what
he's only done this 8 times before.
I really think he wants to suction cup his ass to Robert's face.
I think
and for Robert to
too,
motorboat him.
I
And
really
that's the only
think,
time
I
he's gonna
really
feel
think he's
validated.
one of those people who needs so much attention all the time. And I like it later in the episode he says, I've chased everyone in relationships. I want to be the one chased anymore. Well, it's gonna be hard when you're literally in their fucking grill.
When you're a
every
fucking
5.
stalker.
Yeah. They're all doing their infomercial for
Yes.
gay love.
And then they're going to Palm Springs. So we're all getting ready, right?
Yes, Palm
Yes,
Springs,
Palm
which
Springs.
is a really
Gay mecca.
original spot for a gay show to
Wow.
do. So, and when they get into the car to go to Palm Springs, then it goes into like rave music, like someone should be in a sling and someone's doing poppers over in the
Wait a
corner.
minute.
Like,
Can you imagine? Do you remember what that limo driver was thinking in that or the suburban
Probably like,
driver
just
was
had a
like,
gun in his mouth, like
he was like, what? He's like, these people are boring. Brandon did look handsome though. I'll give Brandon that.
When will the Brandon love will never end?
I like
over
Brandon.
here.
Hashtag happiness. We'll get to that later. Brandon and Robert were sitting in the thing,
Look
and
at
they
your
were.
socks. Those are cute.
I know they're cute.
I don't ever
Ooh, it's
remark
a
on
company
your
called
socks.
Related. They match my underwear.
Related.
They're 2 brothers. They're hot straight men. Look, matches my underwear.
Please don't put your underwear out there. Although
What?
I must say, that is a lovely product.
They're very cute,
and
and
it
they
is
match.
a great idea, but you're filthy because I just saw your underwear. So
they're 2 hot brothers.
sorry about that, everybody, but
Sorry.
sounds like a great product.
I love you, Related.
So they get to the house.
Yes.
And of course, it's like, they're like, we get to the villas and blah, blah, and of course there's a pool. And
It kinda
because
looks
they're
like
gay,
it looks like
they
a
have
really
to get in
nice-
the pool immediately, and
It
you know
kind
how
of
it
looks
is.
like a Red Roof Inn or a La
A
Quinta.
little bit. A little
Is
bit.
it La
More
Quinta?
like
or
Quinta.
La Quinta, okay.
La Quinta.
My mom calls them La Quinta.
Your mom also says quesadillas.
She does say quesadillas. Hi, where are my notes? I can't find them.
You're a moron.
It says Chad is scared and throws his tie down. Boy, that's
That
a
is-
good episode. Wish we had Chad back. Never thought
God,
you'd hear me say
I
that.
never thought we would
Where?
long for Chad.
Hashtag, where's crazy Chad?
I know. So and we walk into the room, And everyone, as a callback, everyone's got a framed version of their hashtag.
I do. Brandon's happiness.
They're very original hashtags. And I believe one of them was spontaneity. And the frames are just as interesting as the people themselves.
They're boring.
They're black and white.
Yeah, they do have flowers. They do have flowers.
I think I was drinking at that point.
Some
I was just trying to drink the
PA
pain
had
away.
to buy that shit and was pissed.
Had to go to Michael's and do it himself.
She sure did.
They're all like, "Oh my God, it's my hashtag, spontaneity."
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Terrible hashtags. You know that the one that would never be even recognized by Twitter.
Yes.
So then we're in the pool,
Yes.
and then we have a real moment.
We finally get some drama.
We finally get some drama, which we've been waiting for. I mean, literally, my teeth have been like vampire teeth.
Yes.
Have been dripping.
Just waiting.
Just waiting.
Apparently, Robert has a secret that nobody knows
secret.
about.
No one knows
one's
about
ever heard.
Big reveal! Robert, in college, when times were really tough, was an escort.
Shocker.
I did not know.
I had no idea.
It was
like
shocking.
totally
And
clueless.
I'm so shocked right now.
I've
I
heard
don't know
nothing
what to
about
do.
this. I'm thirsty.
Oh,
Just gonna
it's a Coke bottle.
have a Coke. Nothing
Oh,
wrong with a
Coke
nice
bottle.
Coke.
Oh, well, if it's snack time, I'm gonna have a little something too. Oh, it's it's pudding.
Vanilla pudding.
It would only be better if it tasted a little like latex. So now that we finished snack time,
Oh, I'm full.
let's do.
I've been filled up. First of all, apparently, I don't know what it is about water on this show, but Robert is telling the secret in a pool, and it's just weird because you hear this water splashing and the sun, like they're having this intimate moment.
He's an escort and
Like,
blah blah blah. So
And they all have it. They're all accepting.
everyone's like it's in the past.
They're like, it's in the past. It's great. They're rubbing his
which
shoulders.
is
They're
actually
such a-
lovely. It's a lovely sentiment.
You know what? In real life, I would have that reaction too. I wouldn't care. But if you're on reality TV,
maybe we could just see what
reality
another
TT, I can't even say the word.
TT. Maybe a different person would have a different perspective. So we're going to go into FPC theater reenactment
Yes,
time.
because if Bravo did this show, it would be a different
and
show.
show you how it might be a little different.
Right.
And scene.
So I'm Robert, and you're everybody. Okay, and
Yes,
Matt-
I'm all the suitors.
Okay, and we're floating in water.
We're moving back and
Back
we're
and forth.
undulating
So
like a
guys,
jellyfish.
I have a secret. Besides,
What is it? I'll accept you regardless.
In my college
Wait.
days, I was
Oh.
an escort.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to process that. So an escort is not like a Ford Escort.
No, but I
It's
was
li-
driving around.
It's kind of like, was that like you had sex with people for money?
Yes.
Wait. I'm gonna stop swimming. Because you had sex with people for money and I wasn't told about this before the beginning of the show?
I had to make a living.
Okay, this is bullshit. You probably have like diseases that people haven't even discovered yet. I'm off this shit.
It was just through Venmo.
After what that little bit of theater just taught us
Is that they can't produce shit on
is
this
that
show.
unless if Robert we know Robert said I was an escort during college
Yes.
or blah blah.
Exactly.
Now, what about that wonderful time when they all put on those queer little masks
Yes.
and they all revealed on something about themselves? Wouldn't that have been a good time?
Literally, the episode what I think our recap was called Secrets. Instead of 3 guys' reactions, to see the whole house's reaction to
Who
that.
were already in it? Who were in Palm Springs, paid by on a dime, paid for by a
Yeah,
logo?
it was. I don't know. It was just.
Do better.
That could have been.
Do better.
I'm sorry. Bravo needs to take control of this shit
Please,
show.
please, Bravo.
Please.
We
Logo's
could've-
never gonna have us.
We could have
on,
had some nice like
ever.
marimba music to get
Yes.
us on there.
They need a xylophone for tension on this show. Music. Thank you. For you, Robert, for living your truth.
The reactions to things were like, you know what? It happened a long time ago. Okay. And Brandon's things were, he said, everyone's got like skeletons in their closet, like you being a drug addict. but you were upfront about that on day one.
I think that made him more interesting.
I
actually.
agree.
It showed that he came from something. I will say this about this episode. This is the most interesting Robert has been.
Very true.
Because I think he was the most emotional and less robotic.
Then he starts to cry. And then
but I liked it. It made me feel for him. I think if Robert, and maybe he did show more of this and they didn't edit it. But if there was more of this early on, I would have liked him more.
Well, Brandon says that everyone has skeletons in their closet, but more like everyone has something in their asshole.
Where is that Coke? I'm thirsty.
So then we have an activity. We're all gonna paint rainbow crosswalks.
Butterflies in the sky.
Look twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. We're not gonna do the whole thing.
I love.
And you don't have to take my word for it.
I love LeVar Burton.
I loved him too.
I wanted his glasses in Star Trek. I wish I those.
This
I
is
those
really
were so cool.
boring. No one cares.
No, you love Star Trek.
I don't want to admit it, but yes.
You love Star Trek. You make me go see all the movies
This
with
is
you.
off
Even the
topic.
old ones.
This is off topic.
Have you ever been to a Trek festival?
No.
Did you like the...
I wanted to go. Oh, did anyone notice it wasn't really on the pavement?
Were they painting on paper?
I think they were painting on paper.
I think they were. The ones in West Hollywood are prettier. But then there was like some real drama.
Really and then the music, the sample music took over, and Brandon said he felt a pop in his ankle. And
he tore.
He tore his Achilles, and everyone lost their mind.
Brandon, that is painful, and I know that is a long recovery. If you need a nurse, I have an outfit, and I can come over.
And
I'm a therapist.
He can be naughty nurse.
I can give you naughty nurse. I can give you supportive nurse.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
give you a sponge bath.
Hell, I'm so motherly. Give me 5 minutes, I could breastfeed.
Prostate exam.
Sure, whatever you need. Brandon, I love you. You're in pain, emotional and physical. Let me help you. But seriously, that's really painful. And you could tell that Brandon was like...
And it was really sad because...
And Eric said he was really in pain. Even the color drained from his face. And I want to say, Eric, that's what you look like all the time.
I know. He's never had color in his face.
Has he had a lot of Botox, or is he just...
I think a lot of it has to do with not knowing how to emotionally connect in the moment.
I just think he overuses skin products.
That may have it to do. And his head, as we talked about on our podcast with Rose Pricks, kind of looks like a backwards broom.
It does.
So it may take a lot out of it.
I love Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I try to watch it every Halloween.
What's the thing?
Angela Lansbury. What is the song? When you rush around in hopeless circles, searching everywhere for something new.
The age of not believing.
There's something wonderful in you.
That was gorgeous, everybody.
That was pretty.
That was worth the whole 7 episodes.
Angela Lansbury.
What we just did is worth the whole 7 episodes of watching
Disney
this.
logo magic.
And there's Nazis in that movie. So Dylan does not feel he's connecting with Robert.
No, said they've gone back to the haciendas. Brandon.
So now so Brandon is in real pain.
Yeah, and they took him back to his
We've
little
gone back to the
haciendas.
River Finn.
Eric's at the La Quinta. Dylan's in his room, saying he wants to talk.
He wants to talk, he's really nervous, and so...
By the way, if you press the pause on your TiVo button right now, you're going to realize you're only 25 minutes in still. That's what it was 30 minutes.
And there's also 11 commercial breaks in the last half hour.
Anyway, keep going. So Dylan needs to talk, and so he finally gets to
we're all
Robert.
like this. Ugh. That's when that's the phrase where you have it when Dylan says, "I need to pull you off for a second," or you check your watch.
Aside. So anyway, he actually does pull Robert aside, and they begin talking. And again, producers, this episode really is more for the producers. You need to watch this. Can you call us? Because I produce shit.
We can help a lot.
We can help a lot because Dylan and Robert end up having this talk, and Dylan's like, I don't really feel like you're connecting with me, and I don't want to waste your time. And then Robert says,
duh.
You're right. Yeah, duh. You're right.
And then went, girl, bye.
Yes.
And Dylan Thirsty Dylan,
Because Dylan said,
dehydrated Dylan,
yeah.
leaves. Dylan says in the most martyrish way, I just don't want to be in the way.
That was taken from a Southern queen.
Which is literally what my mother would say when she was spending too long moving me into my dorm room. That actually happened, everybody. Mother's like, should I leave? I don't want to be in the way. That happened. Dylan, the villain / denim Dylan is gone.
You are so glad. You were so glad for that. Hallelujah.
If I saw him on the street, I would probably run over to him and say, fuck off.
So now we're back to
Our two
it's back
left.
to
We have
Hopalong Cassidy
Eric.
and Eric. And so, bless Brandon's heart. He was so cute with those crutches too. Well, anyway, this is Eric gets to have the date with Robert tonight, and so
And they go out.
they go to dinner, and then there was a segment that I like to call like Eric Repeat Bot.
We may want to do another Finding Prince Charming reenactment here.
Is it time for the Finding Prince
I think
Charming
it is.
players
So-
to do another reenactment?
And I will be performing the role of Eric.
And I will again be performing the role of Robert Sepulveda.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
And scene.
So, here we are
Yeah, we're here.
at a dinner table
Yeah, looks like a great place to have dinner.
in Palm Springs.
Yeah, it's great to be in Palm Springs. And scene. That wasn't scripted. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen on television. And I watched Cop Rock.
So, here's the way that should have gone down if this was actually produced well. So, here we are, Eric, at this really nice restaurant.
You're a filthy whore!
And scene.
Scene.
So
So
it's
after that really romantic dinner,
yes.
they
It's time for them to get into the pool and have a little bit of alone time where
and it's all dark and weird.
where Eric kind of
Pool is-
hangs on Robert like a baby monkey
I'm
to like his
freaked out.
mother orangutan.
Like,
It's like, I'll never let go. And so they're in the water and he's like,
It's
taking-
creepy.
he says, it's
I
creepy.
can see the stars.
And Robert's like, me too. But he's
Ugh.
looking at him in the face.
Oh, it's so creepy.
And then at one point, I think Robert might have entered Eric's ass. It looked a little bit like that scene from Showgirls. You know? I just
did.
thought like any minute he was
looked
going
like
to be
Kyle
like,
MacLachlan.
yes. And
But the Showgirls was more subtle.
Showgirls was more subtle than
The
this.
comparison is Showgirls was more subtle.
It literally, like, as they were swimming in the pool, I felt like somebody should have swam out with holding a platter that said, feel something, audience.
Exaction into this now.
So, I really, again, if they would have done this editing right, if we can, producers, sorry, listen, I would have shown them in the pool and then cut to, like, Brandon just playing PlayStation with his poor leg up. Bless his heart.
Just like Brandon. So the next date is Brandon's. And
Brandon's
so
date.
there's this really romantic scene, actually, with Robert and Brandon laying
Yeah.
in bed with cripple Brandon.
It was really,
With
I love
tiny
I love
Brandon, Tiny Tim. And
Ooh,
so
Tiny
they're
Tim, I
like
like
kind
it.
of making out really passionately in the bed.
Yeah, there was some tongue in there.
And so then for some reason they're at some kind of creative cuisine thing. I kind of zoned out during that whole scene.
Okay, I was
So please tell us what happens while I get a drink.
I was paying attention. I don't know where they went, but they went to some restaurant. But Brandon, because this is what I love about you, Brandon, because I like to talk about feelings too. Brandon just really kind of tells him
He's
how he's feeling.
so honest about it.
And it's great because Robert, this was actually the most dramatic, in a way, of a
Agreed.
Robert episode because I actually really felt there was something that happened to me as I was watching Robert talk, and I was like, what is happening? I went, oh, I'm actually feeling for him. It was a first.
That's sweet. That didn't happen to me at all. But
Never does.
I'm dead inside.
You're dead
so-
inside. But no, you could feel the pull, and he's like really kind of breaks down crying about how hard this decision is to make, and Brandon gets a little emotional too. It was moving. Brandon's got this in the bag. Which I called from the get-go.
He break Brandon, and I was like, oh fuck, now I have to hear about this.
Exactly, because I'm gonna win. So then we go to the review, the always exciting review with Robert Sepulveda And Lance
Bass
And
in
again,
the weird black room.
Yes, and they're wearing tuxedos because it's fancy time now. And Robert is like, he starts
Sobbing.
talking, and then he's just like sobbing. And you really feel for the guy because he's just like, he has to make this, even though this is TV and it's probably fake anyway, but he seems really upset. And I think my favorite part was when he's just sitting there sobbing. He's like, I just don't know what to do.
And
Lance Bass says, yeah, it's really bittersweet.
Really bittersweet, huh?
Really bittersweet, huh? I mean,
eyebrow.
way to pull it out of him, host. Way to pull it out.
Kind of bittersweet, right?
So how do you think Lance Bass is really nice in person? I would want to hang out with him as a friend.
He's
Can
almost
we talk about Lance Bass for a minute?
He's
We don't
almost
talk
like a
about him.
vaudeville dummy, like ventriloquist
He's like
dummy.
the puppet. He maybe
Yeah.
you need a hand in your ass, Lance.
That was really uncalled for.
That'll give me some character.
All right.
You too. No, I do love you, Lance Bass. You're just not a good host.
We're
But I
going to
love
get.
you. Stick to it and
We're
sing.
going to get to the black tie affair, the final black tie. That's the final
You know,
time I'll ever
done.
have to say it. God thank. It's because there's no. First of all, the only thing about the black tie affair that's a black tie affair is the black tie. There is no affair.
There's no affair.
No one's enjoying themselves.
But this truly was. It's the last midnight. It's the last. I don't know the words.
So, we wind up, and Robert's crying through all of this, and
He's
they're
crying.
they're standing in front of him, and there's this really terrible non-sampled music playing in the background. And so Robert's looking at Eric. First
Eric's
looking
like,
at Eric, looking at Brandon,
yeah,
looking
and
at
Brandon
Eric,
says,
looking at Brandon.
and Brandon's like, it's like a fucking tennis match.
Yeah.
And Brandon says, I just imagine, all I'm imagining is my next future with him. And then Eric says, if he doesn't pick me, I'm gonna be devastated. Which was like, I was like, okay, no pressure.
I'm sorry. No one can use the word devastated like gay men. They are the best
It's
at
true.
it.
It's true.
All of a
picked,
sudden,
and Robert picked.
Robert says, I'm sorry, Brandon. I think we're at different places in our life.
And it was very moving.
And it was. And
Brandon was
Brandon
affected.
took it really well.
But yeah.
And Eric kind of
And
did
I-
this weird dippity dog thing, like he was trying to cry, like,
I just don't think his face moves. I don't.
oh, it moved, but it tried to hold things back. It was
Maybe that's it.
it was like Huckleberry
Listen.
Hound.
I loved Huckleberry
Oh.
Hound. But
That's-
so they get together, and Lance Bass is like, "Yay, you're
Love,
friends,
gay
friends,
love.
play."
We
But
made a relationship.
I'm sorry, they did. That was the saddest, most fake ending because you could tell Robert
It was
Duvall
worse
like.
it was worse than any of the episodes of The Bachelor I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
it was honestly like I felt for Robert because
I
I
was
think he kind
sad.
of just got emotionally raped on television, and he was just like,
And-
"What do I
and
do?"
And then, as more of an interesting thing, Eric's like, which they know they fed him this line. He's like, I feel like I'm the Prince Charming.
I feel like
You
they're
know
gonna-
what? I wish that kind of equality had been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Because you're both men looking for a relationship.
Well, I know, but it's Robert said, "Oh, I wish."
So fucking what?
I wish so many things about this show, but one thing I wish is that there wasn't more episodes, and there's not, except for this reunion.
There's a reunion which is going to be filled to the brim
Yeah.
with tea.
It's gonna.
So that's it for Finding Prince Charming.
Oh, we've only got one more. Thank
Well-
Jesus.
One more proper. It's a reunion show, and we're going to be spilling all kinds of tea, new tea that we
Yes,
learned.
we're actually going to have on the show next week Stephanie and
We're very
Ronnie.
excited.
Yes,
This is our first collaboration
yes,
show.
it's like an orgy of thought.
but not a lot of
I
interest.
wish I would have had an orgy this season. Would have made it somewhat interesting.
It's true.
Come
So
on.
Ronnie and Stephanie from
They're
the
great.
Rose Pricks podcast, and when they're the Finding Prince Charming version of this, are going to be with us on
Yeah.
this couch.
So they do a podcast about The Bachelor, Finding Prince Charming, and Jake and I were on it last
We were
week.
on it. We had such a good time. You
There-
can find that
yeah.
under there.
We were
we were disgusting.
We were
So-
dishing the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes interviews we did.
of the behind the scenes of the BTS.
Hashtag BTS. So go to rosepricks.com for that, and we'll see you next week for the.
I'm excited.